1922. After the successful radio concerts from the Chelmsford Marconi Works during the summer of 1920, British radio broadcasting is about to begin. Its new home will be in a small wooden hut in a partly flooded field in the small village of Writtle. Here, the head of the Marconi Wireless Airborne Research Division is Captain Peter Eckersley, a brilliant radio engineer and an extrovert comic and raconteur. Peter Eckersley will become Britain's first radio star, its first comedian, DJ, dramatist and quizmaster. What his team will do during the summer of 1922 will define the art and science of radio broadcasting for the next 100 years.
Well, as I live and breathe, Mr. Arthur Burrows, esteemed publicity manager of our great Marconi company.
Hello, Peter. How are you?
Struggling as always. Too much work, not enough time, and no spare parts. All standard stuff. So, Mr. Burrows, welcome back to our little hut. We don't see you this far out in the outback very often. Did you get lost?
I'm not sure sarcasm sits that well with you, old man. You're far too sharp for that. You know how busy Chelmsford's been.
So still trying to build a national radio broadcast service, are we? Good luck with that one after the chaos Dame Nellie Melba's concert caused. But honestly, Arthur, do you need a map to find Writtle?
Peter, I have some news.
That doesn't bode well. Who's cross at me now?
No one this time. I don't think so anyway. Why? Well, Peter, we want you to do this thing called broadcasting.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Yes, it's been decided that you and your team here will be organising the first regular British radio broadcast station. It will have an official licence, a schedule, advertising, everything.
Are you serious?
Deadly serious. This is our chance. You know this is what I've been working on for years.
But Arthur, that's always been Chelmsford's job. Why don't you just call Henry Round and Bill Ditcham? They made all the noise and caused all the chaos back in 1920. I'll admit it was jolly good fun to listen in. The first big wireless concerts. Dame Nellie Melba, Clara Butt, Lawrence Melchior. Headline news for weeks, I seem to remember. Anyway, where the hell are they both these days?
It's been well over a year since Chelmsford was closed down. Mr. Ditcham and Mr. Round have moved on to a new project. And you know I don't have the seniority to Mr. Round what to do.
So I'm fair game then.
Anyway, they've moved all their equipment back to the Ballybunion station in Ireland.
I wonder where they'd all gone. I assumed after all the noise and interference they caused from Chelmsford, they'd been sent to Siberia. So, Ballybunion. Seems like a good place for all that power. Middle of an Irish peat bog. And a very long way from us here in Writtle. At least we have some peace and quiet and clear airwaves. I guess all they can upset now is the local sheep. Yes, I approve. You know I really don't miss their cheerful wit and merrymaking. Brilliant engineers, mind you.
Well, that is as maybe. So, Mr. Eckersley, it's down to you now. The torch hath passeth, so to speak.
Arthur, have you taken leave of your senses? We are far too busy around here to mess around with diva opera singers, especially Australian ones. I'll grant you Melba singing for Chelmsford was a huge radio event, but I ask you, just look at this hut. We don't have enough space to swing a cat, let alone to create a broadcast studio and build a huge transmitter. Anyway, who is we? I mean, just who decided all this on our behalf?
But Peter, for once in your life, listen. You have to take this seriously. Please. This is important.
So is our work here. We have pretty much completed the Croydon Air Traffic Control System, direction findings working well. Now they're talking about a second airfield. Old RFC landing strip near the small village of Heathrow.
Oh, I know that. You are doing great work, but the radio amateurs...
Oh, the dear old hams.
Well, yes. Since Chelmsford went off air, they've campaigned, petitioned, and generally made a nuisance of themselves at the very highest level. They've actually got the Postmaster General to approve a new broadcast radio station, the first official British broadcasting station. No more one-off concerts, no more experimental equipment and temporary call signs. This is a bit of history in the making, Peter, and we're giving it to you.
You'd be so lucky. My father always did warn me to beware Greeks bearing gifts. Or was it Arabs? No, I don't remember. It was the head office. Yes, never trust head office bearing letters about broadcasting. Oh well, c'est la vie, c'est la guerre. Or perhaps I should say, c'est la mort, c'est la guerre, c'est la vie. C'est la pomme de terre. Come on, Boris, spill the beans. Come on. How can my little team of Maverick wireless engineers help you this fine day? When do the big stars of the opera world start to fight their way down into our muddy little lane? You know, we have nothing here, don't you? No running water, food, toilets, food. Nice pub up the lane, though. My secretary Elizabeth Beeson's father, Henry, runs it.
Well, Madam Melba won't be coming this time, and Lord Northcliffe won't pay £1,000.
Shame. You know, yeah, I was a bit annoyed to hear not to be invited over and to be here and go and see Dame Mary Melba. I'm told it was an amazing evening, and it sounded good on the headphones over here too, just a bit too loud. No, I understand everyone and their dog piled into that old packing shed. Perhaps my invite got lost in internal mail.
Yes, it was a great evening, but not without its engineering difficulties. I will admit that at times it was a damn close-run thing. I thought we'd lost it all, but the engineers got the concert out in the end, and it seemed the world listened.
Well, that's what we engineers do, you know. Make it all work in the end. Well, at least the Daily Mail got their money's worth from the publicity. Headline news for 9 days. I see Melba's still wearing a technical newspaper column on radio. Seems she's quite the expert on oscillation and valve regeneration. Do I sense Mr. Burroughs' old journalistic skills at work?
Whatever it takes. I will do anything and everything to keep broadcasting in the public eye.
You know that Mr. Marconi himself is not sold on the whole thing. He just can't see the business in it. Maybe thousands of people listening in for free while we spend all this time and effort to get the signal to radiate.
But imagine if all those peoples bought a radio from us to listen in. I think this is an amazing opportunity.
Well, at the moment, most of all the hams build all their own from bits of wartime surplus.
Well, that could change overnight. We just need a reliable, regular, calibrated station on the airwaves.
So no Melba then. What do you actually want us to do?
Maybe you can get a smaller singer or two to come here.
Yes, the Aussie girl was definitely big-framed.
Don't be facetious, Peter. You know what I mean. Some local talent. The more the better. Someone from the West End, maybe. I'm led to believe that you may know some actresses.
Well, we are quite a long way out into the sticks. Actually, thinking about it, dear old Snora Scott may come down and sing for us. Lovely girl. Met her in London. Great fun. Yes, I'd look forward to meeting her again.
Yes. Well, you can always try and get Winifred Sayer back. She did rather well as the First Lady to sing from Chelmsford. In fact, the First Lady to sing on British radio. We really made some history there.
Sure she did, but this is Writtle, my house, my rules. So, pray tell, Mr. Burroughs, what else would you have me do for this thing called broadcasting?
Well, I've made an arrangement with the Chapel Music Company. They will supply us with their number 2 wind-up gramophone and a selection of suitable records for broadcasting.
So what's wrong with their number 1?
We just have to give them a mention every time we introduce each record.
I see that getting very boring very quickly.
Now look, Peter, this should be straightforward. All you Writtle chaps really have to do is light the valves, tune it up, get it transmitting, and then introduce each item. Nothing else. Just transmit your jolly old wireless waves to happy listeners. I'll handle the PR and all the content. Piece of cake. No need for anything else, I feel. No frivolity. And no hijinks. Peter, are you listening? Promise me. Please do nothing to upset or annoy anyone. I know that's not in your nature, but I'm relying on you. No ripples on your radio waves. Total discretion is what I need. Remember, calm, quiet, and be polite at all times.
Why, Arthur, they are my middle names. Well, it's Pendleton, actually, but I think I can do discretion as well. Probably.
Well, the rules for your new station are really quite strict. No more international interference will be allowed or tolerated. In fact, no interference at all.
Well, you're preaching to the choir, old boy. Although at times I always revelled in the chaos. Also saved us having to use any aerial wire. We even used Noel Asbridge's finger once. Capital fun.
Yes, well, that may be so, but here are the rules. You can only transmit for 30 minutes a week for half an hour after normal working hours. You can only use a maximum of 400 watts. You must shut down every 3 minutes for 1 minute to listen for interference you may be causing to legitimate services. And there will be no extra money. So this will all have to be done on your own time, and any equipment used must be returned to normal company use during the day. And any fees or expensive for any artist will have to become out of your own pocket.
And that's a good deal. Just give me that paper, Arthur. Hell's bells. You want it by when? February 14th. St. Valentine's Day. This year? 1922. Be serious, man. That's less than 2 weeks away.
That's the date the licence starts. The advertising and press release have already gone out. You have to be ready.
Well, thank you very much for the warning. Well, I suppose we could rig up the spare Croydon transmitter. Yeah, it'll give us well over a kilowatt all day long, so we may owe the dear old Postmaster General a few watts. It probably takes more than 400 watts to light the valve on the old girl, but
I don't care how you do it, Peter. Just make it happen.
I suppose we could try and play your records and see if anyone actually wants to listen to them. But we'll have to use the same wretched microphone as Round and Ditch. This really isn't very good.
It was fine for Melba. The most important thing is that you turn up on time.
Oh, well, there is an old saying, may you even be a curse, may you live in interesting times. This could get very interesting.
One more thing, Peter, this is important. Whatever you do, please try and control the more extreme parts of your nature.
No problem, Arthur.
I have to run now, Peter. Please don't let me down and don't embarrass me or the company.
Bye, Arthur. Yes, did I mention my house, my rules? Let's have a look at this paperwork then. And the call sign for this new station is 2MT. 2 Talk. Calling from Writtle. Hello, CQ. Hello, CQ. This is 2 Talk Writtle calling. And you know, this might be fun.
Yes, this is 2MT Writtle. We are testing. We have a singer here, Mr. Robert Howe, the first singer to sing on Writtle at, for Writtle, 2MT, and he has a song, Mr. Howe. Yes, you sing in here. Yeah, yes, just sing. What is it? It's the Boatswain's Lament.
Quiet. This is very finicky. Tickling the cat's whisker. I have to keep moving it very gently. There. I can hear 2MT. It's all playing. Listen. I can hear music from the skies. Careful, don't knock the set. I will put the headphone in the pudding bowl. Everyone be very quiet, and you can all listen in.
Well, I can't hear a dicky bird. What is wrong with it? Have you scraped the crystal? Ah, yes. Yes, I can hear it. That's better. That's much better. They're all in there. I can hear them. It's Captain Eckersley. It's 2 Talk. I love it so much.
Even on land, I'm sorry to say, I can't get away from the voice of the maid.
Yes, sounds good, Eck. It's all going out. Look at the meters. Currents are all good. Valves are glowing a lovely blue colour. All is well.
I don't know why, my Mariah, I wait. You should lose your heart. But then
I tell you, I don't care how many valves you have. I don't care how big the frame aerial is. Writtle is nearly 400 miles away. You'll never hear it. As for playing it over a horn speaker, nae chance, laddie. Well, blow me down. I can hear 2 Talk all this way. That is amazing. I will send them a QSL card tomorrow. Well done. Well done.
Well, yes, that is good. Very good. I think we are. Yes, that's over now. Now, yes, we are finished. This is the first concert from 2MT at Marconi, Writtle, closing down. Are we off yet? Yes. What?
No, boys. I tell you, I'm not happy. It really wasn't very good. I listened in to our first night with Stella and the dogs with Witham, and at first the signal was okay, a bit of fading, some interference, and it all just became terribly distorted at times. What the hell was going on? It's the same transmitter at Croydon, and that's usually crystal clear. I bloody designed it!
Peter, we had a technical problem, just as we were about to start, and, well, an old capacitor blew itself apart. We had to be replaced in a hurry, and, well, we got the wrong value. Mr. McClarity found it this morning. The next broadcast should be better.
Okay, it's all well and good, but Ashbridge, for God's sake, I mean, what I could hear was very dry. In fact, if I was a newspaper man, I would review it as stilted, boring, and predictable. In fact, I would go as far to say it was so awful I think the papers would ignore it. I do hear tell they are somewhat worried about our ability to distribute free news into everyone's living room.
Well, we didn't do any news. Mr. Burrows told us not to.
Quite right. Let us indeed do everything that Mr. Burrow tells us to do. Or actually, did I mention I'm in charge?
Well, I really wish someone was. This all seems very half-baked. We are professional wireless engineers with a lot of work to do. Well, at least some of us are.
Ashbridge, my dear old Ash. How I love the sight of your happy beaming face in the morning light. Lighten up, man. This is a new age, a new era. We engineers will have to communicate with real people out there.
Why on earth would we do that?
Because we can build the future, but they will have to use it. So maybe try and smile, man, when you are broadcasting. When you are in front of that microphone, I swear you can hear a smile 100 miles away. And a scowl. Maybe try enjoying it. Try and connect with the listeners. Be their friend. Reach out.
Not really my job, old man. I'm a receiver engineer, not a pantomime puppet.
Fair comment, but I think we can do better. We must do better. So tonight I've decided I'll have a go on the microphone.
I am not sure that's a good idea, Peter. Remember, Burrows gave us strict instructions. A lot of people in authority are watching and will be listening to us. There are rules. There have to be rules.
Stuff and nonsense. Ashbridge, old man, you worry far too much. Don't take it so seriously. The only people listening are our friends. This may only last a few weeks, so come on, let's enjoy it before we have to get back to the real world. Let's have some fun. What could possibly go wrong when Uncle Peter is on the microphone?
Well, on your past form, pretty much everything. Peter, I'm thinking of, well, getting married. I really need this job. And let's face it, at the best of times, you are a loose cannon rolling around the deck.
Fair comment again, Ash, old man. No loose cannons then. Noted. Right, okay, let's finish up here. I need to get into Chelmsford. Harry, you stick around, make sure the old girl's warmed up, ready to transmit. McClarty, throw something on the stove. It's bloody freezing in here. We'll meet in the Cock and Bell pub at 6. Elizabeth's dad's Henry's got fish and chips reserved, and there's a full bottle of gin or two under the counter. We will have a little drink, a little planning session, maybe another little drink, and then we'll see what we can do to liven up around here. This could be fun. Where's the damn piano? Where's the damn piano? Damn it all, team. We seem to have lost the piano. How do you lose a great big piano? Quick, man. Piano hunting time. Ashbridge? Where are you, man? You forgot the bloody piano. We have to go all the way back to the pub for it.
I'm behind you, pushing like always. Yes, Peter, we need the wheelbarrow to help move the piano.
Okay.
But you are sitting in it. In fact, you sat in it all the way from the pub. I will now have to go back with the wheelbarrow to collect the wretched piano. but I'm not sure why. Do we really need it tonight? It is most dreadfully out of tune, and I know you can't play it to save your life. By the way, we were on in 10 minutes, so someone needs to switch it all on.
Well, you better be quick then, and get some more wood on the stove. It's still freezing.
Yes, just leaving. I say, Peter, I do hope you're not considering going near the microphone tonight in your state.
You wouldn't dream of it, old boy. Strictly reconnaissance this fine evening. Just stopping by to learn how to use old pros this thing called broadcasting. Carry on, off you go. See you in a bit. Bye. Bye, Ash, old man. Don't let the door hit you in the backside, right? That will do. Let's push on. Don't panic, boys. Not drunk, just relaxed. I needed dear old Asbridge out the room for a while. This whole show needs to be taken up several notches, and I don't need his disapproving glances when I'm trying to do this broadcasting thing. So where's the microphone? Go on, are we on there? Everything ready? Tuned up? We're transmitting? Very good. All right, let's begin. Hello, CQ. Hello, CQ. This is 2Emma Talk. 2Emma Talk. Hello, CQ. This is 2Emma Talk. 2Emma Talk. Writtle Calling. So how was that? Any good? Are we radiating? Oh, I do hope so. Radiating with gusto. Love a bit of gusto, but only in the morning, of course. I know, you do too. I say, Kirk, it doesn't look like the output valves are glowing the right colour. Tell me quickly, is it all right, Ash? Wave your hand if it's all okay. Where is Ash? Oh, he's gone to the pub. Oh, what a good judge of tonight's show that is. Hello, Kirk. What? Are you sure? What do you say? Oh, it's blasting. I am blasting. Ooh. Well, that's why the transmitter's looking at me the funny way. Bless the old girl, but like dear Ash's old face there. A bit of over-modulation. Well, better that than no modulation at all. That would be very quiet. Just hissing and static and boring old Morse code tapping away. No, we wouldn't want that, would we, dear listeners? No, we want music and poetry and culture. What's that? What's she say? Oh, it seems Ash would prefer silence. Well, what a killjoy. I ask you, what are we to do with him? Hello, CQ? It's still blasting. Do you want to blast? A blast, a whole lot of it. Yes, so hello, dear friends. Hello, so children, friends, countrymen, hello. Are you sitting comfortably? Then let us begin. Are you ready to listen to Uncle Peter? I feel something interesting is brewing. But of course, it might be the chips I just ate. It might also just be the gin, but of course, it might just be the mixture. But here we go, ready or not. Hello, I'm waving at you now. I can see you all in my mind across the ether, huddled up warm by the fireside. Oh, I wish I was warm by the fireside. What a night this is. No rain yet, but it's very cold in here. But that won't stop my words being beamed to you from our bamboo aerial masts blowing in the wind. So, thank you all very much for letting me into your homes this Tuesday evening. How are your crystal sets holding up tonight? Is your cat's whisker tickled and tight? And are you the lucky ones listening in for free? That's one on the face of the establishment. Ha! And we remember we love your signal reports. So, write in and tell us where and when and how far you've heard us and where you were using and what you were using. I think most of you are using good old-fashioned Galena crystals, but some of you are trying the new zinc-site crystals. How are they working for you? But I'm sure some of you are still using rusty nails, pencil leads, and even blue steel razor blades. They all work too. I love them all. But I do hear tell that some of you naughty people have been knocking lumps off the ironmonger's conundrum sharpening wheel, but he's not looking bad. Listeners, dear me, but we still love you all. So isn't this radio a wonderful magical thing, eh? Thoughts of ideas and music and humour rippling through the ether from me to you. So, squash your conundrum together, tickle your crystal right now, let's all clamp our headphones on as tightly as tonight we may try and blow them off. Yes, indeed, maybe you are sharing our little station with the whole family and your headphones are playing from inside Mother's mixing bowl. That's very good as well. Well, tonight we have quite a show for you. Yes, indeed, we do tonight. Yes, well, I think we do. No one else is sure, but I am nothing if not confident. Well, look, how are you all this evening? I'm afraid we've had one or two terrible things happen tonight. Yes. Yes, I know, terrible, isn't it? Yes. Actually, you don't know yet because I haven't told you yet. But firstly, we did expect to get a serious singer for you. It was all very quite important, we felt. But, well, she failed. Yes, well, serious singers fail, you know. But we have got tonight a couple of gramophone records, as usual, and I hope a few surprises, but I doubt it somehow. But the rest of it, well, that will just be a surprise to us as well. I am always surprised. Are you? What's that? What's happening? Hello, CQ, hello? What did you say, Kirk? What? What? It's not going out at all? Oh dear. Oh, it's your fault. It's what? Oh, for heaven's sake, connect it up. Oh, it is all connected up. This has all been going on. Hello, CQ. Hello, everyone. Yes, CQ, yes. I'm sorry. There's been a little bit of a misunderstanding there. A little technical hitch. Yes, you get them too. I know. Aren't they awful? Yes, I know. Well, I think we are ready to begin now. And the first thing I've got to introduce you to is a record entitled... Gee, I do wonder why records are always entitled. Why aren't they just called something? Anyway, here it is. A record entitled... Because God Made Me Mine. Yes, well, that was all very fine, I'm sure. Yes, well, that was dear old Enrico Caruso from 1912, no less. My word, less than half a lifetime ago. Not really my cup of tea. I like my cup of tea strong, hot and dark. Bit like my... Well, but that reminds me. Will someone please just get the kettle on our old pot-bellied stove? I'm going to need a cuppa for the next piece because tonight we have a most marvellous thing that's going to happen. We are going to receive Rome, that famous Italian tenor... what's his name? Famous Italian tenor Gridlico is going to sing. In fact, he has a close relative here in the heart. We think he may even be related to one of our valves. Yes, it's true. Would I lie to you? For those of you clever enough to have built valve receivers may even have met Signor Gridlico before. He can often be found hiding in your single tube triode grid leak receivers. You know, the ones with the directly heated cathodes. Oh, yes. I do like a heated cathode, don't you? So how is your grid leakage tonight? Yeah, we do like a small negative charge, don't we? Yes. Anyway, how our famous Italian tenor, Gridlico, is going to sing for us somehow. We think the song will be Non Hierom Fortissimo, which, being translated, means... well, it's very difficult, but... Wait, yes, we are now going to receive it. You thought it was impossible, I thought it was impossible, but it's coming through all the way from Rome. Can you believe it? I can't. He's trying to come through on our special hookup. I'm really not sure of the technicalities of it all. I'm not sure any of us know how this will work, and there may be some atmospheric there may be some jamming, pop, there may be some oscillation. Wow. Hang on, CQ, hang on, it's a minute, it's... Did you hear that? I thought that was all very fine. It seemed to go well, despite the technical difficulties. What's next? Well, may you ask. Well, indeed. What did you say? Well, yes, I know, Kirk. Yes, well, dear listeners, it seems we now have to close down for a whole 3 minutes to listen to any interference we might be causing to any legitimate services. It's licensing rules, you know. By the way, does that make us an illegitimate service? Oh, I do hope so. We could be ever so naughty when we want to. Well, I don't think we need 3 minutes, but maybe there might be time for another cup of tea. Oh, you're the lucky ones. Mine's still in the pot. So, time to fetch a biscuit to dip into your nice warm tea while we have a short rest. But be careful. Please tiptoe across the floor and don't disturb the cat's whisker. Hang on. Oh, second thoughts. You know what? This is a silly old rule. A whole minute without dear old 2MT is a minute wasted. Lost forever. How will you cope? And, I don't like rules. Silly or not. So no, CQ, we are not closing down tonight or any other night. So what else can we do to fill the newfound time? Well, let me think. Well, as I told you at the very start, we thought we had a proper singer for you. A very famous singer, you know. No, not the loud Antipodean one. No such luck and no such money. I know some of you would like dear old Lauritz Melchior to come back, so to speak. Well, no, I'm afraid that's not possible. Some of you may remember that he had just got married to someone who will remain nameless, then told him that the louder he sang, then the better his new wife would hear him all the way over there in Denmark. My word, what a voice, what a noise. When he breathed in, all the doors and windows in this little old hut slammed shut, and when he bellowed out his first note, they all burst open. And then he broke the microphone, and then he broke the output valves, and he really did cause a huge amount of damage. Wynne and Asbridge and McClarty had to work their little fingers almost to the bone to fix it all, and now everything in our world that goes wrong now can always be attributed to a Melchior breakdown. But you've heard him all over Europe. We have telegrams and letters here from Aberdeen, Cornwall, Wales, Ireland, and a man on the Forth Bridge with 4 valves, no less. Holland, Germany, and the south of France as well, all listening, and welcome, one and all. But there's a problem, and it's getting worse. I know you clever radio hams are always trying to hear us better. Indeed, now you're adding more of Mr. Fleming's or perhaps Mr. Round's thermotic valves to your receiving equipment, but not in a good way. You know what happens, and yes, I know you are trying to make the receiver more sensitive just because you want to hear more of me. That's all very laudable, but if you couple the amplified output energy back into the input, then off she goes and your radio transmitter becomes a transmitter, but not in a good way. Yes, the bad hams are causing a terrible howling in all your good neighbours' receivers. We call it howl around, and you blot out everyone else's fun for about a mile or more, so please don't do it. Don't oscillate. Wow, 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 wow. So add more metal shielding, please, boys, and maybe add a few little bypass capacitors, and don't oscillate. Please, don't do it. I've even heard that our American cousins now have a veritable epidemic for screeching and howling, but they call it blooping. Apparently bloopers cause bloops, bloop, bloop, bloop. And there's always 2 nations separated by a common language and over 2,000 miles of water, which is really a blessing, isn't it, really? Yes, it is. What did you say? Ah, well, hello, that's good news at last. We have a singer. Oh, well, it's not me. No, it's a promise. Don't look at me that way, people, please. I swear Asbridge looks at me like he's having a bad case of wind or constipation. Look, oh man, I know we should shut down, but not right now. This is all far too exciting.
Hello, my dear Peter. And hello, dear listeners. Yes, it is me. Here again, Nora Scott. Apologies I'm late, but I dashed up from the West End and all the trains ran late.
And don't get me started on the trains, old girl. The railway directors are still demanding my head on a platter for the last time I discussed their inefficiencies. But Nora, my love, we are so very pleased to see you again.
No, it's my pleasure.
It's nice of you to say so. But we are honoured, enchanted, memorised that you came. In fact, I will kiss your hand.
Oh, Peter, you must stop teasing me. And don't give me those mournful, sad eyes of yours.
You could give me anything.
Stop it. I have a song for you. And I need to concentrate.
So sing, girl, sing. But what are you going to sing? Mr. McLachlan from Research has not turned up, so we are piano playerless. Is that even a word? Can anyone else play? No, I can't. I can't even try. No, wait, please. I'm looking around for some help. Please, blank faces everywhere. I ask you. Miss Beeson, I see you hiding there behind the door. Can you play? No? No, are you sure? Never mind, just come over here and say hello to our dear listeners. Come on. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, may I introduce Miss Elizabeth Beeson, my secretary assistant and the hut's most important person. And her father runs the best ale house in town with the best gin and tonic and the best fish and chips. Now, she looked after us all so well, so come over here and say a few words.
Hello, everyone. It's very nice to be here tonight to listen to Mr. Eckersley and the radio show.
That's the ticket, old girl. Perfect. You are no radio star. How about I think we should get you a regular slot. No? No, she's shaking her head and running away. Yeah, I think we have a bad case of microphone shyness. That dread disease we see so often. Why, even Asbridge suffers from it, don't you, old man? You just stand in front of the microphone and you freeze up. Some people can't even issue a squeak, not even an oscillating howl round. Yes, I think it is a dread disease. I hope it isn't catching.
I think we are in safe hands with you, Peter.
Let me check. Yep. Still here, still talking. And don't panic, don't try and retune. Definitely don't oscillate! In fact, please don't do anything, but just listen in to dear old 2MT. Nora, my dear, in all this excitement, I've nearly forgot you. I think we need a song. And in fact, I'm in the mood for something a little risque, a little piquant, a little, well, fun.
Well, here's a new one. I have the record. Paul Whiteman and his orchestra have just released it. I'll sing over the record. The clever man here tells me it will work. So, this one is for you, my darling Peter. If you can make the magic work, it's called Hot Lips. He's got hot lips when he plays jazz. He draws out step like no one has. You're on your toes and shake your shoes. Boy, how he goes when he plays blues. I watch the crowd until he's through. He can be proud, that cockatoo. His music's rare, you must declare. The boy is there with 2 hot lips. You've got hot lips.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Miss Nora Scott. I can hear you applauding all over the station. Nora, my love, that was beautiful. I will see you later. Next we have, no, not shutting down yet. I do have an announcement. We're very sorry, we can't do a proper stage play for you yet. There will be the first one ever on radio, but rehearsals are going well. We'll have real actors on air for you very soon. I can hardly contain my excitement. Neither can Ash over there. Look at his lovely little face glowing in our Valve's ethereal blue light. And that reminds me, for all our children listening in this evening, just to let you know, Spick and Span, our friendly little goblins, are having a little rest in Ash's receiver shed tonight. It's cold outside, so they're staying at home with him, the crafty little tinkers. But look, I can see some of their friends who've just come to watch tonight. Look, everyone, we have small people out there. A veritable invasion, no less. Welcome to all our visitors who have ventured out into the night to see us on our long, low hut at the end of Longford Lane. I hope you haven't scared you all our rabbits or the world's only true earthed goat, and please mind our vegetable plot. No. Oh no, honestly, my friends, thank you all for being our fan club. And I see your dads have come too. I see their little faces pressed against the window, and the children trying to get a look at it as well. What? They've come for a bedtime story. Why aren't you in bed then to listen? See, that's why this radio is so magical. In the blink of an eye, I can join you in your front room without even having to wipe my feet, and I can sing you a lullaby without even leaving my chilly little hut in the middle of our flooded Essex field. Yes, I like children. I couldn't eat a whole one, though. No, I'm sorry. That was a poor joke in my taste. A little faux pas on my account, I do apologise. True, I am so hungry I could eat a small one. But not, of course, our wonderful friends are our fans, so to speak. So, well, as our little goblins Spick and Span are on holiday tonight, let's see if Uncle Peter knows some jokes for you instead. Here we go. I try to explain to my 4-year-old son it's perfectly normal to accidentally poop your pants, but he's still making fun of me. Hang on. Can I say poo on the radio? Can I actually say poop on the radio? I just did. Oh, in the same vein, I went to the doctors yesterday and said, have you got anything for wind? He gave me a kite. 2 Ariels meet on a roof, fall in love and get married. Reception was brilliant. No, nothing at all that time. No. Yesterday, the Writtle police arrested 2 kids yesterday, and one was drinking battery acid and the other was eating fireworks. They charged one and let the other one off. No, not even a smart... Come on, this is my best stuff. One last try. Here's some for the engineers listening. Here we go. She was only the electronic engineer's daughter, but he couldn't resist her. Boom, boom. Why couldn't the Ohm swim to the other side of the river? Because there was too much resistance. Why did Mr. Ohm marry Miss Ohm? Their love was electric and he couldn't resist her. What is a resistor's favourite breakfast? An omelette. What is the name of the first electricity detective? Sherlock Holmes. No, nothing. No, well, they've made me smile anyway. No, I'll stop then. What do you mean at last? Well, I'll take that as a challenge. No, what else? I really should write some of this down. Maybe history will think it's important. I don't think so, but it's so cold and everything seems to go straight to the stove. That's right. There is still time to get your competition entries in. Send them to care of 2MT or Writtle, the Marconi company at Writtle. It will find us. And remember, you can always find us. Please come and visit, but be careful. It's very muddy and always very flooded down our little lane. What a perfect time for a weather report. I have to announce that the weather today and tomorrow and all of next week will be, well, very dreary. And there will be a perpetual deep depression over Iceland. Oh, on Monday morning it will rain. On Mondays it's always raining. I blame Iceland. Maybe the government don't like us. Wait. I have to interrupt myself if that's impossible. If it is possible indeed. Impossible, but important news. Very important news. Breaking now that I simply had to bring you. There have been great delays tonight on the train line between Chelmsford and London. Apparently there was fog on the line. It seems those great big, smoky, powerful trains are scared of a little fog on the line. Maybe they can't push through it. Maybe it's very, very thick fog. Maybe it stops their wheels from turning. Perhaps a sort of special foggy train-tight glue. I just don't know. Do you? I tell you all, if the porter even breathes on the line at Stratford or London and North Eastern Railway trains, will be running late for the next fortnight. There, I've said it. Yeah, and I promise not to. I am naughty. Doesn't matter. I had my fingers crossed behind my back the whole time, so it doesn't count. What? Oh, that's very bad waving. No, everyone's waving at my waves, and it seems tonight we are almost done. That's good. Our time has flown. Tempus fugit and all that. But of course, before I say goodnight, CQ, the usual song I know. Dearest, the concert's ended, sad wails the heterodyne. You must soon switch off your valves, and I must soon switch off mine. Write back and say you've heard me. Your distance, hook up, and where and how. Hark, the engine's failing. Goodbye, you old lowbrow. No, I don't really like that. No, I don't like that at all. No, hang on. CQ, the concert's ending. Loud screams the heterodyne. You must soon switch off your set, and I must soon switch off mine. Stay for one fleeting moment, tuned to the last degree. CQ, the concert's ending for 2MT, so... Good night, CQ. God bless you, because I can't. Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Hello. This is Station 2LO. It is the 11th of November, 1922. This is Arthur Burrows, Director of Programmes broadcasting to you. And here is the 6 o'clock news. I'll read this twice. Once slowly, and again quickly. Please let us know which one you prefer. I will read it again at 9 o'clock.
Mr. Asbridge, how are you doing? Where is the elusive 2LO station tonight?
Hold on, I can hear 2LO.
Yes, it's dear old Arthur, bless him. A bit boring and a bit monotone, but that's Arthur for you.
Bit of noise, but not bad from London. He only has 150 watts, and he's not allowed to transmit music. In fact, he's not allowed to do anything but talk. I hear he wants to be known as Uncle Arthur now.
Uncle Peter was the first. Bad Uncle Peter. And what's with this over-the-top pronunciation he's come up with?
It's a new maxim called received pronunciation. Didn't you see the memo? Everything has to be completely correct on this new BBC. No regional accents, no dialects, no bad words. They've written out to every mayor in the land asking them how they pronounce their towns and rivers, and some committee will then decide if they are right.
Well, that rules me out then. But my long Mancunian drawl seems to have worked so far.
And you just make up words when you just can't think of a good one.
Or a bad one. Sometimes it helps, as even I don't know what I'm going to say next, and it keeps the listeners on their toes and listening, so blush to you.
Like I said. And then Uncle Peter makes a silly noise when he gets bored. They will have none of that on malarkey at the new BBC, Mr. Eckersley.
Stuff and nonsense. Where's the fun, the love, the sheer joie de vivre in reading out stock markets and parliamentary reports? I'm bored just thinking about it.
Oh, hold on. Burroughs is going to end with the big chimes. I think they hired them from the London Symphony Orchestra.
Oh, but I think ours will be better.
Peter, I have some news. The new company that will control all radio broadcasting in Britain has been announced. They're going to call it the British Broadcasting Company, the BBC.
I heard. Well, I'm sure that took a huge amount of effort to work out.
I also have to tell you that I'm leaving Marconi's to be the BBC's first programme manager, effective immediately.
My word, Arthur, that's one hell of a leap into the dark. I thought I was the only reckless one. Are you sure this BBC has a future?
I think so. But this is the chance to establish a national broadcasting service for Britain. You know how long I've been working on that.
Nice dream. But huge technical problems to sort out.
Well, we're trying to recruit people, good people, the best. People who will challenge the established order and hang the consequences. Now, who does that sound like?
Well, I'm good. But I'm also damn busy.
Peter, you must see this advert. The BBC has your name all over it. The new general manager is Mr. John Reith, and we need a chief engineer. They want to cover the whole country to give reliable radio reception on a simple crystal set. Live music, plays, shows, even your comedy. Everything you started here in your little hut, but with an audience of millions.
Well, the best of British luck. It will need multiple stations in every city, probably repeater transmitters for the town.
Now, my point exactly. You see, Peter, this is your world. Will you consider it?
Let me think on it a while. Big wrench after all we've done here. Are you really sure this BBC has a future?
I think so. I hope so. But you started it, Peter. All this was your idea. Everything we were going to do, you did first at Writtle.
So, good night, CQ. Good night from 2Emma Talk Writtle. God bless you, because I can't. And yes, tonight we'll have some chimes for you as well as 2LO. And ours are so much more fun. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Hello, CQ. Hello, CQ. This is 2Emma Talk Writtle testing. This is 2Emma Talk Writtle testing. Hello, CQ. Hello. Hello, Ash. Hello, Ash. Ash, hello. Are the signals okay? No, they're not. Wave your hand if it's all okay. No waves? No waves at all. Curse. Kirk, is that all right in there? Kirk! No? Not? Sorry? Well, sorry, CQ. Closing down a moment. Hello, CQ. Hello, CQ. This is 2Emma Talk Writtle testing. This is 2Emma Talk Writtle testing. Tonight, we have a most marvelous thing that's going to happen. We are going to receive Rome. That famous Italian tenor, what's his name? Gridlico, is going to sing Non piuto furore pantissimo, which being translated means, it's very difficult. CQ, the concert's ended. Sad wails the heterodyne. You must soon switch off your valves. I must soon switch off mine. Now we're going to receive it. There may be some atmospherics. There may be some jamming. There may be some oscillation. Whew! But hang on, CQ. We're just going to receive it now. Hang on, CQ. Hang on, CQ. Here it is. Oh,
In January 1923, Peter Eckersley and the Writtle team said goodbye to their faithful listeners on Britain's first regular broadcasting station, 2Emma Talk. He used the pop of a ginger beer bottle, promoted by the magic of radio, to become the very best champagne and toasted the health of his huge and loyal audience. In February 1923, Captain Peter Pendleton Eckersley joined the new BBC as its first chief engineer. Over the next 8 years, he would build the BBC to nearly 600 engineers with 10 main stations. He also added a dedicated relay network in smaller towns and cities that allowed the whole population of Britain to hear at least 2 channels under his regional scheme. While at the BBC, Eckersley would also pioneer short and long-wave broadcasting and agree a European-wide frequency plan. Having served his apprenticeship with the Royal Flying Corps and Writtle, alongside Managing Director John Reith, PPE would build the British Broadcasting Company, soon to be a corporation, into the most powerful mass media, entertainment and news organisation the world had ever seen.
This is 2LO, the London station of the British Broadcasting Company calling. 2LO calling.
Broadcasting is a development with which the future must reckon, and reckon seriously. Here is an instrument of almost incalculable importance in the social and political life of the community, in affairs national and international.
This is London calling. Now tonight our chairman, Lord Gainford, is going to speak to you on this, the occasion of the opening of our new studio at 2 Savoy Hill, London.
As chairman of the British Broadcasting Company, and on the occasion of the opening of our new London studio, I am glad to have the opportunity of saying a few words to our many thousands of listeners in throughout the country. The Broadcasting Company is not a monopoly. Last year, the manufacturers of wireless apparatus met together by invitation of the Post Office, as it was realized that broadcasting would have to be controlled by one broadcasting authority, if the chaos which today is so obvious in America were to be avoided here.
On the air.
You have been listening to The Man Behind the Microphone by Tim Wander. Peter Eckersley was played by Ollie Fry, Arthur Burrows by Simon Lynch, Noel Asbridge by Jason Harris.
Ooh, and the delicious Nora Scott was played by Anna Mallard. It was so much fun. Do you know, I really think this radio thingy has a great future. Bye!
Though you are near or far, that makes no difference to me. Just begin, tune right in, we're like a big family.
Hello CQ, hello CQ, this is 2Emma Talk, 2Emma Talk, this is 2Emma Talk calling. Is that all right, Ash? Is it all right? You sure? You sure? What? I'm blasting. Hello, CQ, I'm blasting. You want to blast? I blast a whole lot. But, look, well, I mean, how are you tonight? I'm afraid, there's a bit of rather serious things have happened this evening. We did expect to, get, some rather famous singer, but, well, she failed. Singers failed, you know. They do. And we've got tonight a number of gramophone records, as usual. Well, anyway, I think we'll be ready to begin now. And the first thing I've got to introduce is a record entitled... by the way, why are all records entitled? Why aren't they called something? A record entitled Because God Made Me Mine.
If you've got a wireless set as an amateur which had never done more than go pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa, and then suddenly you heard a voice or even music, I mean, it was fascinating. In this country, of course, you know, we carry red flags in front of the microphone. We carry them in front of the motor car, and the Postmaster General, on whom be everlasting peace, he realized that we couldn't have such a thing as this without committed judgment and serious consideration. But somehow or another, there was an idea among the amateurs. Who are amateurs? They're called hams. They're the people who wound coils and drilled ebonite and did all the happy things that you do with valves and wireless sets. And they petitioned the then Postmaster General that they might have a station so that they could have a constant source against which to calibrate their receivers. And the result of this petition was, very naturally, it was turned down. But under the influence of shock tactics, the preparation of another petition, eventually it was decided that there should be a station for these amateurs. I happened to be in the Marconi Company at the time, and we inhabited a place called Writtle, a hut, long, low hut full of long, low people. And we had a wireless transmitter, and we were eventually appointed by the Radio Society of Great Britain to do this thing called broadcasting. We had to talk into this thing and give them signals. It was very formal, mark you. There was a license that we were given. The license said that the power had to be limited to 1 kilowatt, was it? And that had to include the power that was necessary for illuminating or heating the filaments of the valve. But it took 2 kilowatts to do that already. However, we still owe the Postmaster General a number of kilowatts. But we went ahead, nevertheless. And that's how probably the first regular broadcasting station in Britain ever started. There was one before it. I'm a little jealous about the one that preceded it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm talking about regular broadcasting, and gee boy, were we regular. We were half an hour a week, every Tuesday. And we just broadcast, that's all. At first of all, it was terribly formal. The man picked up the microphone and said, "Hello, CQ, this is 2 Emma Tock, Writtle Calling. And we will now play you a gramophone record entitled." The curious thing with a gramophone record was entitled. They're not called anything. And we just put on the gramophone record, and then it was switched off. And then we had to wait 3 minutes to listen out to find if we were interfering with legitimate services. Well, we were illegitimate, obviously, in those days. And, we listened out, and we weren't interfering, and we went on. And then one day, I never took part in these programs originally, but one day it seemed to me to be rather fun to pick up the microphone. We went to the local, and we had some dinner, and I started to broadcast, and we didn't wait 3 minutes. And we went on, and we talked, and at least I talked, and we sang, and we played the fool, and so on. And I think that was the first broadcasting ever in Britain. Mark you, we weren't simply and only interested in broadcasting this frivolous stuff that you might think that we did. We had serious artists. For instance, we had Melchior. Melchior came to sing. I shall never forget Melchior coming. He brought an extraordinarily pretty accompanist. And with an air of intense originality, every member of the staff took this accompanist by the hand to show her our goat. We had a goat in the field next door, which was earthed. It had a peg in the ground and a chain attached to it, and it circulated around this thing. But in the end, of course, the accompanist had to do her job, and she played the opening bars, and one held the microphone in front of the singer's face at a suitable distance that one judged to be about right. Well, Melchior had just been married, apparently, and he'd left his wife comforted by a crystal set in Denmark, and he believed that the louder he sang, the more likely his new wife, was to hear him. And so when the opening bars were played, he he gave a bellow which shut the station. Well, he sucked in his breath which pulled the windows shut, and he gave a bellow that shut the station down. And I remember afterwards he used to wander about the place and say, "What's that bust component there?" "Oh, well, of course, that's part of the Melchior breakdown. That is, yes, because the thing burst into flame." Well, there was another case, I remember, an amusing incident in which some woman came to sing, and she was rather earnest, perhaps, and she sang Irrepressible lullabies. I told them not to make too Irrepressible, because remembering our audience, and she sang. Well, of course, I did a lot of imitations at the time. I pretended that we were receiving programs from Italy, and I did an Italian tenor interrupted by Morse and oscillation and so on. And I did other imitations of basses, and oh, heaven knows how many. And, well, this woman sang, and they expected to get a lot of appreciative postcards. Unfortunately, they all turned up and said, now, that's the best imitation you've ever done. You know, at Writtle, we didn't have any elaborate studio or any wonderful gadgets and things like that. What we had was, when we wanted to play a gramophone record, we had a perfectly good mechanical gramophone with open doors. And you opened the doors, and you put the needle on, and it scratched, and it played little music. And then you held the microphone in front of the open doors where the sound poured out from. Sorry about the preposition at the end of the sentence, but that's how it was. And if you wanted it louder, you just moved the microphone nearer, and if you wanted it softer, you moved the microphone further away. We were able to keep one of the smoothest volume controls that has ever been invented. Of course, today, I mean, there are sliding resistor wires and wonderful faders and this and that, but pioneers always know best.
On the air, greetings everybody everywhere. Just 1 hour of happiness we'll share while we're on the air.
This has been a TRW production recorded at the Shanklin Studios on the Isle of Wight.